Hi, Dr. Tassone. Oh, we're so glad we could catch you. Chad has something that he would like to share with you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Tassone. I believe I am very bright and could benefit from learning thusly at an
Okay, you sound that out.
accelerated?
Accelerated?
A relocated?
Do you like race cars, Chad? Let's say you're in a race car, first place. All of a sudden, you feel this thing behind you. And it's a massive 5-ton cinder block. And you keep thinking to yourself, what the hell do I have to do to get this thing off my back? Well, I'll tell you, Chad, it's real simple. You just put your foot on the gas real hard, and you accelerate. Say it with me, Chad. Accelerate. 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 Accelerate.
Accelerate?
Yes. Yes.
What's wrong with him?
You know what? I don't know.
That heart is fighting to button, uh-oh.
Netflix's Project Power redefines the idea of superpowers by drawing from comic books, but not adapting them directly. The high-concept superhero sci-fi belongs in the same family as Limitless, in its presentation of the idea that superpowers are innate to all people and all that's missing is the right activating agent. That agent is a drug called Power, developed by a shady immoral private security contractor corporation Teleios, and given to community lab rats to check the effects. Project Power borrows some of X-Men's mythology, in terms of each individual showing different superpowers, thanks to magic locked into their DNA. The difference in this universe is that everyone has a random evolutionary power hidden away that mimics the superpowers that animals have developed over generations to survive their environments. The movie even goes as far as to suggest some of these animals that have somehow gifted their powers to humanity's latent DNA. It's not clear how exactly, but this is a superhero origin story and not a natural history documentary. Here's a rundown of every superpower, who has them, how powerful they are, and where they might have come from. Frank is a strange Batman-like character, in that he proves himself completely willing to break the law in order to uphold it. It's quite troubling that he's not only willing to take drugs, to take down those who take the same drug to break the law, but also that he buys them from his professional friend the teenage drug dealer, which is Robin. But, Project Power is not about how long he deserves to be in prison for. His powers are interesting, in that they give him bulletproof skin, which is hard enough to allow him to punch through concrete, but malleable enough to respond to gunfire. He's also not completely bulletproof, but only temporarily. As the gunshot he takes to the face, Frank establishes that each power pill seems to have a 5-minute delay on them, as he times it on his watch. Art refuses to use his powers, for the majority of the movie, because they're too dangerous. He eventually reveals to a guard on the Genesis that he has the same powers as a pistol shrimp, which sounds deeply unimpressive, until you hear the actual details. The tiny sea dweller on Art are both able to superheat the water and air around them to shoot intensely hot bubbles at great speed that kill enemies. In nature, the pistol shrimp can generate temperatures equal to the surface of the sun, and the fact that Art can liquefy henchmen at several paces suggests he can manage a similar range. Art's powers also manifest in a shockwave that he can seemingly control, though they come at a great cost, as he's killed while displaying them, from the effort rather than the heat. The first superpower really shown in Project Power belongs to Newt, a drug dealer who can impressively burst into flames when he takes power pills. He's essentially the film's Human Torch, and his power doesn't seem to be drawn from the animal kingdom. And it also comes at a terrible price that Johnny Storm never showed, which is scarring. While he seems to be invulnerable while on fire, Newt's skin and flesh actually burn, so when he turns back to normal, he's left horribly scarred and heavily disfigured. He's Project Power's first morality tale, in that he takes too much of the drug and ends up overdosing. Or, exploding, to be more specific. Which is not a superpower in itself. It happens because some users' superpowers react unstably to power pills, and are amplified to such a fatal degree, that they spontaneously combust. The biggest revelation in the middle of Project Power is that Art's daughter, Tracy, has a naturally occurring superpower, thanks to the genetic experiments Teleios did on her father. Project Power's ending doubles down on this revelation, by having her superpower explained as a revival power, which works not only on people, but also plants. When she walks past a dying plant, it is immediately restored to health, and she saves her dead father at the end with far greater effort. However, her powers, strangely don't seem to allow her to heal wounds on herself, as the wounds from Teleios experiments, remains unhealed when she's first seen on the Genesis ship. The film vaguely suggests her powers are derived from the same evolution as lizards, that are capable of restoring destroyed or removed limbs. Listed both as Griff and Camouflage Man in the Project Power credits, the first villain Frank encounters with superpowers in Project Power is a bank robber, who has clearly evolved the same camouflage abilities as a chameleon. He can blend into any background, and appears completely see-through even when running, provided he is completely naked. In contrast to all of the other powers, Camouflage Man seems able to keep his powers up for way longer than the 5-minute limit, since he has time to rob a bank and take hostages, wait for the police, and then escape Frank all while still camouflaged. Presumably, this is either just a plot hole, or he has multiple pills stashed somewhere on his naked body. It was always inevitable that at least one character in Project Power would copy the Incredible Hulk's mutation superpower, and that comes courtesy of Biggie, the secondary villain responsible for sales of power pills to military contacts. When he takes the drug, he grows to a huge size with monstrous mutations, including one very large arm, and displays Hulk-like strength and aggression. Given his moral alliance, he's more befitting of the Abomination title, though unlike both he is susceptible to being blown up, and his mutations leave permanent scars on his body when he turns back into his normal self. His design when transformed actually seems to owe a lot to Resident Evil's Wesker, and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's Mr. Hyde. Art has a special kind of revenge in mind, for the Teleios thug Wallace, who kidnapped his daughter, and has been given the responsibility to oversee keeping her locked away. He's already a formidably sized guy, but taking power pills gives him significant enough super strength to be able to punch through steel ship doors. However, there's never any indication that his strength goes beyond his punching power. It's a fairly simple superpower that's mostly generic, as opposed to linked to a certain kind of animal.
Run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat, we can never know. You do. You chose to die instead of giving up your colleagues. That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
Nuclear holocaust.
No. Something worse.
All I have for you is a word. Tell it. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too.
You have to start looking at the world in a new way.
Don't try to understand it. Feel it.
What'll happen here?
Hasn't happened yet.
2 minutes out.
I need you to run.
You can